When you look at most of the bridges that will carry roads, footpaths, etc. across the HS2 railway, you see concrete, grey reinforced concrete. This even applies to a bridge like the A423 Banbury Road overbridge near Southam that I did a video about recently, which, despite using steel beams to support the bridge deck, when looked at it is mostly concrete abutments, concrete support piers and concrete parapets. But there are a few bridges that look completely different. In these cases, nearly everything you see above ground is made from steel. Such a bridge is presently under construction about a kilometre north-east of the village of Offchurch in Warwickshire. It is a footbridge to carry footpath W129Y over the railway. This is a satellite view of the area, with the village of Offchurch at the bottom of the screen. That is Hunningham Road, now diverted over the new HS2 overbridge. I did a video about that new bridge recently, which I will link to in the description below. The HS2 route is shown leading roughly northwest. This footpath originally follows this route across the fields. It will be diverted over the new bridge as shown here. During construction work, W129Y is diverted about 150 metres south with a manned crossing point of the Hall Road, and this is left open to walkers when no work is being done, for example on Sundays. This is an aerial view showing the present diversion of W129Y from where it leaves Ashbeds Wood on the right, down to the manned crossing point of the Hall Road, and through the track bed to join its existing route on the left. The bridge will be about 76 metres long and the deck will be 3.5 metres wide. This is the elevation given in the planning document. The material is weathering steel. This is a type of steel that develops a dense patina of rust that strongly adheres to the surface and protects the steel underneath from further corrosion. It requires minimal maintenance over an extended lifespan of many decades, eliminating the need for galvanizing and painting. The bridge uses an arch configuration with the horizontal bridge deck supported at centre span. There are also struts providing extra support between the arch and the bridge deck. The planning drawing shows the bridge foundations. First, the holes for piles are bored and cages of reinforcing bars inserted and then filled with concrete. I believe there are 4 piles for each abutment, and these are probably 15 to 20 metres deep, making 8 piles in total. The ground around the tops of the piles is excavated, the concrete exposed is chipped away so that the 4 piles can be joined together with reinforcing bars. Then a large rectangular box is cast to form the pile cap, tying together all 4 piles for each abutment. The abutment is then constructed on top to provide the end bearings for the arch. It might be expected that the end supports would also be piled, but no piles are shown on the planning drawings, so these supports may be simply set on the made-up ground. This is probably because they carry a relatively small load, most of the weight of the deck being supported by the arch. HS2 do mention in the planning application that a 6-month period may be needed to allow settlement of the end supports on the made-up ground, so adding to the impression that these are not piled. The parapets also use weathering steel in the form of perforated plates 1.8 metres high attached to vertical steel columns. The plates are sloped outwards 15 degrees towards their upper edge to provide a slightly less oppressive feel to people crossing over the bridge. The perforation of the plates is varied across the bridge. As you near the centre of the deck, the perforations almost entirely disappear, whereas at the ends, the plates are completely perforated, giving some semblance of a view of the railway. HS2 in their planning submission claimed that the near-complete obstruction of the parapet plates over the tracks is to prevent the possibility of electrocution. I think that is a largely specious argument. It is hard to think of any way you could get electrocuted apart from dangling a wire over the bridge, which you can still do with a 1.8 metre high steel parapet. This artist's impression from the planning documents show what the bridge will look like as you walk over it. The bridge foundations and abutments have taken the best part of a year to prepare, having started early to mid-2025. Now in July 2026, the bridge superstructure is being installed. As you can see from these aerial shots, 4 temporary support scaffolds have been used to hold the bridge elements in place while everything is joined together. It seems that the bridge deck was delivered from the factory in 4 sections of roughly up to 20 metres long for each one. The steel is mostly still in its bright original state before it gets its protective patina of rust. As we pass over the bridge, you can see the temporary joints used to hold everything together. This view shows tents being erected over the joints to allow the elements to be welded together on site. I suspect that each deck section came from the factory with parapet plates already fitted, leaving just the gaps near the ends and in the centre to be fitted on site. Given the inaccessible nature of this site from local roads, it is likely that the lorries carrying the bridge parts came down the Hall Road from Fossway Roadhead, a little under a mile to the southeast of the footbridge site. There is an almost identical bridge in Solihull carrying footpath M214 over the railway near to Borsall Common. This shows an artist's impression of that bridge from the relevant planning document. The W129Y bridge will look similar to this. The Jim H24 YouTube channel had a recent video showing the M214 bridge, which is now structurally complete and also shows its weathered brown appearance. I will leave a link in the description to his video so you can see what the Offchurch footbridge will look like in a few weeks' time, although it may not achieve its rusty patina for many months more depending on the weather. Once the bridge metalwork is all in place, there will be a need to build up the approach embankments either side to bring the footpath up to bridge deck level. As you can see, there is probably about 2.5 metres of fill needed at each end, which will take some time to complete. Once that is done, I can see no reason why the footbridge would not be open to the public. There is already a manned crossing point of the Hall Road, which allows users of the temporary diverted W129Y path to cross the works. A small relocation of that manned crossing would allow the footpath to go over the new bridge. Incidentally, at the moment, footpath W129Y is one of the few places that you can walk directly on the trace of the new railway, directly where the up and down tracks will run. You can look towards the new footbridge, and the other way close by is Hunningham Road overbridge, opened earlier in 2026. This aerial view shows the line of the railway. From the W129Y Footbridge, there's Hunningham Road Bridge, then the Offchurch Greenway Green Bridge, the Fossway Bridge, and on the horizon the long Itchington Wood with its twin-bore tunnels beneath. You can gain access to the W129Y path from the centre of Offchurch from a track directly opposite the Stag at Offchurch pub. The path then straight across fields, through kissing gates to keep grazing sheep in, through Manor Farm Yard, and then another field and Ashbeds Wood to the HS2 site. It's less than 1 kilometre in length, so not an arduous walk. Many of the illustrations in this video come from planning applications made by HS2 to Warwick District and Solihull Metropolitan Borough Councils. You can find these on the relevant council planning websites using the reference numbers as shown here.